It is a hot topic here in the Bay Area, and today's decision to cut rates by the Federal Reserve leaves potential home buyers and sellers with one big question: how will interest rate cuts impact mortgage rates? To help us understand this, we welcome Redfin's chief economist, Daryl Fairweather. Daryl, thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
So, Daryl, first of all, what do you expect now that the feds have cut this key interest rate here, and how do you expect that to affect the housing market going forward?
Mortgage rates are falling today, and this is part of a weeks-long trend of mortgage rates getting lower and lower. This means that home buyers are going to be able to save potentially hundreds of dollars on their monthly mortgage payments compared to what they would have had to spend earlier this year. So overall, this is good news for home buyers. The housing market has been pretty slow recently. It's been a buyer's market. So if you get out early and start shopping in the fall as opposed to waiting to the spring, you get the added benefit of both lower rates and it being more of a buyer's market.
The market, as we've been reporting here, has been challenging as of late, especially with the higher interest rates. How do you predict this to affect? Do you think this is going to cause a spurring in buying and selling?
The housing market has been challenging for a few years now because of how high rates got after the pandemic. But now that they're a little bit lower, it's getting a bit easier. Affordability is still a major challenge, especially in an expensive market like the Bay Area. But the good news is that things are starting to improve at least a little bit. So if you've been on the fence about whether or not to buy, it's a good idea to go talk to your lender and figure out how much you can afford now that rates have come down.
All right. So in terms of the housing market here in the Bay Area, which of course is higher than the rest of the Bay Area, it's still going to be a challenge no matter even if those interest rates are down a little bit, but just because of the affordability aspect of things, right?
Yes, the Bay Area still has a housing shortage. The Bay Area has not built enough homes for everyone who wants to buy them, and that's especially true for smaller homes like townhomes or duplexes, triplexes. We need much more of that missing middle housing that families really desire, because if you are trying to start a family, a one-bedroom apartment isn't good enough, but a single-family home with 3 bedrooms is just way too expensive. So we really do need to build more in order to improve affordability in the long run.
And historically speaking, when the feds cut interest rates to the level they are now, as you mentioned before, we saw them go down last week, and now, of course, they're going to go down with this new interest rate cut here. But how long do you take to start seeing that effect on the housing market?
Well, the effect on mortgage rates is instantaneous. Markets move as soon as the Fed takes action and as soon as new economic data comes in. Home buyers themselves can be a bit slow. There are definitely some who are paying attention and are going to get out there as soon as possible because they want to beat the rush. But we probably won't see a substantial increase in demand until the spring housing market. That's when there are more buyers and there are more sellers, and there's just a thicker market, so home buyers have more to choose from.
Daryl Fairweather with Redfin, thank you so much for your insight. Many people are going to be opening up the Redfin website to look for something to buy, something to buy with these interest rates getting a little bit lower. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we head now down to the Weather Center where we find Roberta Gonzalez. She is following the forecast, which includes a warm-up. Good afternoon to you, Roberta.
Yes, it's the last day of our summer hurrah, Andre, with autumn officially